Mercedes-Benz Superdome here in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. Blue landing.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 9, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and then hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
That was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. In for the score. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Fill in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They go play action here on first down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. And again, it's Mayfield. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Mayfield with it once more. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dante Fowler in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, it still definitely hurts.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now third and goal. Defensively, they better figure something out. Opening drive, he already has 4 catches.
And if you have to figure out how to stop him defensively, that usually means you weaken your defense. That means that now the offense is doing the dictating, and they should have other things open up as well.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start, offense.
Now, 4th and short, had your offense out there. That one stings.
And you know something? Your options change dramatically. Not only is it tougher to go for it, but what if you decided just to line up and try and draw them off sides? If you did it on 4th and short, you could pick up the cheap first down. Now, you still won't get a first down even if you do exactly the same thing.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the year.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Now let's go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And did he get in? No, they'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. And what a way to take over as they've got it with a first, and suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Lions are in for 6. And from the 1-yard line, they didn't try and reinvent the wheel, do anything cute. They just gave it to the big back.
You almost get the sense that if you can't get it in from the 1-yard line with your big guy carrying the football, you'll question yourself the rest of the day. They got it done.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's likely still kicking himself from the interception last drive that wound up leading to a go-ahead score.
And he's going to assume all that came with that one, all right? That's all on him, but he also knows he's got to erase it from his mind and get back out there. This drive, very important.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Automatic first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All right, here we go.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Still 3rd down.
And a penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And to Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. And
he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Mayfield now on second down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Mayfield off the play fake. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a give. This is Abdullah. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over, and we'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Detroit! Hot! Watch it now, Barney!
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well. I
love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Again, this is Camaro. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Throwing, Mayfield. Rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. To throw, Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards on the dump off at 2nd down. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Buying time to his left. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the 2nd half is underway. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Mayfield on play action. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On first down, Abdullah. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
They go with Abdullah again. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. First down, Mayfield. Right by Graham. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Mayfield on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney.
A second down run for Abdullah. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the red zone now, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyler Davison. Busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Second down, Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. The Lions on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Mayfield looks to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Let's go.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Again, it's Kamara. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he'll have to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, churning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal. On third down, these guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable third down receiver, you've got to be willing to absorb those types of hits and make those sort of plays.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up second down.
Throw left side complete. That's Doyle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
He does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Looking to throw. And that is incomplete here.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll run here. Abdullah. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. A handoff to Abdullah. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. 3rd and long for Mayfield. Forced out to his left. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Being chased out left. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
They'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Saints on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. They run. It's Kamara. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the fourth quarter. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. It's a pretty simple formula, Charles. A field goal, all you need, that wins you the game.
And the most confident guys going out on the field to direct their teams, they probably already talked to their kicker before they went out and let him know, don't worry, you got a chance to be a hero in this one. I'll set you up, you just knock it through the post. His plan, get the team downfield and get them into position. They've gone over it many times in practice. That's how he's going to approach it.
And now on the sideline, everyone stay away from the kicker. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On the run, Abdullah. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Back to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
He'll look to throw. And a big loss here as as he's taken down. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.